can't make your ends meet, no job, cost of everything going up, you live in paycheck to paycheck, don't worry about it. The Federal Reserve just put you deeper in debt yesterday by loaning money to banks all over the world that are going under. The European crisis is not ending. All they did was print more digital money not worth the paper it's not printed on. And that's why you saw gold prices go up yesterday about, $35 an ounce? Because the smart money knows it. Everyone I know in Europe and Greece has gotten their money out of the banks. Matter of fact, the banks have gotten their money out of the banks and are moving it offshore. That's no lie.
Come on, where do they put it?
They're bringing it here.
And investing in what?
They're holding it here, the little that they have, because they're afraid it's going to be nationalized. And that's the other thing. We're calling banks by their wrong name. They're loan sharks. That's all they are. And that's what's going on in Europe. They made a lot of bad bets, but they want it to look like this. You know, them Greeks, they don't want to work. They're lazy people. These are socialist countries. People never do anything. That's the big lie. The real truth is, hey, guys, I got some credit default swaps for you. You know, Todd, you look like the kind of guy for a synthetic collateralized debt obligation. Well, how about an auction rate security? All this is a big gambling game that went bad, and it's over.
You sound like you should be sleeping out at Occupy Wall Street.
Well, listen, I've been down there. As a matter of fact, you know, in my book Trends 2000, you could look it up. For some reason, I wrote this in 1995. I'm moving into the new millennium, and I have a march on Wall Street. They're marching on Wall Street, and you see, and the reason was because of. At that time, I think it was the 1% owned 36% of the country. And the gap between the rich and the poor was widening. So what's happening here is the whole financial system is in collapse. And it's not only the Fed and the European central banks that shoved more money into the system, so too did the Chinese. You know, housing starts in housing sales in China are really hitting the skids after 3 months. All of these bubbles are bursting. So that's what we're looking at. And I can tell you one of the top trends we're looking at in 2012. And it's economic 9/11. We're looking at some form of economic martial law. You go back, you know, I got whacked in that MF Global thing.
You did?
Oh, yeah. I lost over six figures. They took it out of my segregated account. I was going to take delivery of gold. Hang on,
they robbed you?
They robbed me. I was going to take delivery of gold that I bought in April yesterday, and it's totally wiped out. Not only that, gold that I bought at $1,443 an ounce, under the new rules instituted by the Lanskys and the Capones, they repegged my price of gold. I actually didn't buy it at $1,443, and all those statements that I have since April, they're wrong. They sent me a corrected statement. The real price is $1,765 an ounce. They make this stuff up as they go along as they're robbing it.
So do you need anything? Because Tom's got some extra cash. If he needs...
I just went to the ATM. If you were in the studio, I'd lend you a couple of bucks. Joe, you know, Todd and I are the generation. We heard about the Depression from our folks, and our folks lived through it as young children. Are we heading that way?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, we're in it already. Housing prices are at worst fall off than Great Depression levels. That's a fact. You have depression going on in Europe. You have over 25% inflation rate, unemployment rate in Spain. You have kids, young people, young people in Spain over 50% unemployed. Greece, you go down the line. So I'm mentioning about this Corzine thing. Yeah. I'm doing research, and one of the things I said when Obama got inaugurated, I said, as soon as this guy gets into office, watch out, there may be a bank holiday because this whole thing is collapsing. You can Google it up, John Corzine and Biden.
Okay.
Corzine's running for governor, and they bring Big Joe over there to go do some campaigning for him. And there's Biden, and even you watch it, and even he had teleprompters, and he's saying, as soon as we got into office, one of the first things we were discussing was a bank holiday. That's right. They were talking about a bank holiday. And they called John Corzine up to see what he thought. So that's the brains that they're talking about. They bring in this, when Corzine almost got in that car accident and died a couple of years ago, we would have all been better off if he died. Because he hurt a lot of people out of work, a lot of people lost money.
All right, Gerald,
so going forward,
hang on. Gerald Celente is our guest. He's the author of Trends 2000 and Trend Tracking. You were saying we're heading for a depression. Is all this government intervention activity then, Gerald, just trying to put off for a little while the depression? And if so, why? Why don't they just do what they're doing and let the depression happen?
Well, that's where I'm going to. And the point is, what we're saying is just as they almost declared a bank holiday, they're going to have to do something that's going to be very drastic in the first quarter of 2012. They're pumping everything up. You read the language. Read the language of yesterday's money pumping scam. And what they say is building confidence in the markets. Building confidence. Confidence game. Con man, con artist. You got it?
Yeah, but
that's all they're doing is they're building confidence.
They
can't let it collapse.
But what's the end game? If they ultimately it's going to collapse, you're saying?
Oh, it is collapsing.
So,
and what they're doing is they're devaluing our currency to keep it going. So it's kind of like the frog in the frying pan as you keep turning up the heat.
Yep.
That's what they're doing. They keep devaluing our currency. People say, well, inflation, it's not that bad. Yes, it is. Yes, the cost of the product might not be going up, but it's costing you a lot more Zimbabweans to buy that cup of coffee.
All right, let's take a caller for you. Gerald Celente is with us. Rich, you're on WRKO.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, Rich.
Hey, just one comment. I'm not an economist. I'm not a financial guy. I'm a small business owner. Been running my own business for 26 years, and I got whacked in 2008 just like everyone else. And I got to say that in the last 2 to 3 months, our business has never been better. We have more work to do than we are able to handle. We're booked through the end of March, and this is a phenomenon we haven't seen in years. In talking to other small business owners I'm friendly with, I'm seeing a big change out there. People are starting to spend again. There's a confidence back.
Well, you got the word, confidence. And that's what I'm saying. Confidence is back.
So what's your advice to people like Rich? He's got some extra cash coming in.
Great.
Yeah, but how do you protect yourself if a depression's coming?
Well, for me, I only invest in gold and silver. I don't give investment advice. That's all I do. And this thing is collapsing in front of us. The world economic system, and look what's going on in Europe. They can't save it. And again, the confidence game. They bring in new leaders in Italy and in Greece, and what do they call them? Technocrats.
Is this being done on purpose, bringing down the world economy?
No, it's not being done on purpose. It's money junkies that over-gambled. Look at this guy Corzine again. He was gambling 40 to 1. You go to Vegas, put the dollar down on the table, and tell the dealer it's $40. The dealer says, what are you, nuts? It's $1. No, it's not. I'm John Corzine, and Gary Gensler over there at the Commodities Future Trading Commission said, it's okay, I bet 40 to 1. Who's Gary Gensler? Well, Gary Gensler was my buddy over there when I ran Goldman Sachs, and now he's running the CFTC. So that's what's going on. These guys are money junkies.
Is part of our problem that the political system is in the bag with the Wall Street people? So it doesn't matter which way we vote, or Democrats, Republicans, all the same?
You got it. It's the Gambinos or the Bananos. Look at the facts. This isn't BS. Who was the Treasury Secretary under Bush?
Paulson.
Yeah, where was he from?
Goldman
Sachs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
You see,
and before
Goldman
that,
Sachs. What did he do? He put the 4 words out there that have killed capitalism. Too big to fail. Who made that one up? That guy that called up before. You think his business goes under? Anybody's going to save him? No. Who was the guy under Clinton that deregulated the entire industry, killed the Glass-Steagall Act?
Rubin from Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
And Citi.
Yeah. And after he went to Citi, after they deregulated everything, what did he make? Like $100 million after deregulation. Yeah, then who's the guy that they just brought into the European Central Bank? Draghi. Goldman Sachs. The new guy from Italy over there, they call him Mario. They call him Super Monty. He privatized. How about Three Card Monty, another guy from Goldman Sachs? You go down the whole line. The Rothschilds would have been jealous of what's going on over here. Who's the guy that's the head of Obama's chief of staff? Where did he come from? Oh, that's Bill
Wall
Daley
Street.
from that wonderful Chicago machine over there. Where's he from? Oh, vice chairman of J.P. Morgan Chase. I mean, come on. You know, all you have to do is follow the money. Wall Street's hijacked Washington. It's the same club. Where was Obama yesterday? Stopping traffic all over New York City. You know, that guy. Remember that guy, Dominique Strauss-Kahn?
Sure.
He got caught allegedly raping that woman in a hotel room. Remember the perp walk he got?
Yep.
Sent him to Rikers Island?
Yep.
Not Corzine. They haven't touched him. They haven't even called him in for questioning. He's throwing $35,000 a plate dinners for Obama.
So how much did Corzine steal effectively through his mismanagement of his company?
Well, they can't find. There's so many elements in this. They can't find. They're saying it went from $600 million to $1.2 billion.
Right.
But now listen to this. There's the commodities, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME Group. I have a videotape of the guy who running it, Terry Duffy, bragging a year ago that no one's ever lost a penny trading commodities with CME Group. This is like the New York Stock Exchange, but for commodities and options. And that we have $100 billion in collateral, and we guarantee all of the trades.
Okay.
Nobody's calling around on this stuff. These are criminal operations. And I'm saying this because when things go down, I don't care who your money's with, guess what? You're not going to get it back, and they're going to tell you, they're going to hand you the jive that, oh, don't worry, you know, it's insured. There's, there's this one and that letter and that. Yeah, you'll get your money after you die.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the banks. If there's runs on banks, yeah, you'll get your $250,000 coverage, but the money's not going to be worth what it was.